Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great and ready to unlock another powerful trading secret today. Have you ever wondered how a professional ballroom dancer who barely watched the stock market screen turned a few $1,000s into millions? And that too while traveling the world? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, this is exactly what Nicolas Darvas did, and his legendary box trading strategy is still relevant for traders today. In this video, I'm going to break down Darvas's timeless lessons, how he ignored rumors, focused only on price and volume, protected his trades with stop losses, and made money with discipline, not stress. Trust me, once you learn these principles, you'll realize you don't need to stare at charts all day to become a profitable trader. All you need is a proven system and the discipline to follow it, just like Darvas did decades ago. So, watch till the end. And if you find value in this video, don't forget to like, share it with your trader friends, and subscribe to the channel for more real trading wisdom every week. Let's dive in and discover how you too can trade smart and live free, Darvas style. Darvas was not your typical Wall Street insider. He was a professional ballroom dancer, constantly touring the world. He didn't have time to read endless newspapers, gossip columns, or so-called expert opinions. And guess what? That turned out to be his secret weapon. While others were busy debating news and rumors, Darvas watched only two things: price and volume. In his own words, news was mostly confusion. He learned this the hard way. Early in his trading days, he relied on stock tips from brokers, whispers from friends, and exciting headlines. Each time he jumped into a stock based on news hype, he ended up with losses and frustration. It felt like he was being played by the market. So he made a bold decision. Stop listening to anyone. Listen only to the tape. This idea shaped the backbone of his method. He observed that when a company's stock price starts moving up with higher than usual volume, it signals that something real is happening behind the scenes, stronger than any newspaper could explain. He didn't care if it was a new product launch, a secret merger, or an industry boom. If the price moved up with force, he joined in. If it moved down, he exited. Simple. Clean. No stress. He wrote in his book that during his global dance tours, he carried clippings from the Barron's and Wall Street Journal. But he never read the front page stories. He flipped straight to the stock tables to find which companies were making new highs. He marked them, tracked their boxes, and waited for breakout confirmation. No rumors, no predictions, just solid price action. This approach gave him freedom. While other traders wasted hours interpreting news and worrying about global politics, Darvas danced on grand stages in Berlin, Havana, and New York, and let his trading orders work silently in the background. He trusted that the market itself knows best. If buyers are excited, the price climbs. If they lose interest, the price falls. News just gives excuses, but the trend tells the truth. So, what's the key takeaway for all of us today? Stop overloading your mind with expert debates and panic headlines. Learn to trust the trend. Read charts. Understand how price and volume tell the real story. If a stock is consistently climbing on strong volume, it's not an accident. Ride it. If it loses momentum, step aside. No drama. Darvas's story proves that you don't need to be glued to the screen or the newsroom. You need discipline, a simple method, and trust in what the numbers reveal. True heart of Darvas's million-dollar success, the box method, a system so clever and simple that it made a dancer richer than many full-time stock analysts. So what exactly is this box? Imagine a stock price moving up and down within a clear boundary, like a ball bouncing inside a box. Darvas noticed that many strong stocks follow a stair-step pattern. They pause, consolidate within a tight range, and then break out to new highs when fresh buyers jump in. He realized that by tracking these price boxes, he could filter out random noise and catch only genuine upward moves. Let's understand how he did this. During his world dance tours, he would spend free time studying stock tables, marking the high and low prices that repeated over days or weeks. If a stock kept bouncing between, say, $50 and $55, he drew an imaginary box. $50 was the floor, $55 was the ceiling. As long as the stock stayed inside, he did nothing. But the moment it closed above $55 with good volume, he knew something real was happening. Buyers were willing to pay higher than ever before. That was his green signal. This simple idea protected him from guessing or acting on emotions. He didn't buy too early or panic during small drops. He waited like a disciplined hunter. If the breakout failed and the price fell back into the box, he exited quickly with a tiny loss. No questions asked. If the breakout held strong, he stayed in and watched his profit grow. One beautiful part of this method is how Darvas ignored company details. He didn't care about balance sheets, rumors, or flashy press releases. His boxes told him everything, when a stock was resting and when it was ready to run. For him, every breakout meant big traders knew something special, and he simply followed their footprints. He also layered boxes. When a stock broke out and climbed higher, it often formed a new box at the next level. Darvas would trail his stop loss at the bottom of each new box. This way, he locked in profits step by step. If the price ever fell below the latest box, he exited, securing his gains and protecting his capital. This is what made Darvas different from gamblers. He didn't hope or pray. He obeyed his boxes like traffic signals. Stop when red, go when green. This discipline turned his modest savings into millions. The biggest lesson for us? Don't complicate trading. The market moves in patterns. If you can spot these boxes and wait patiently for a clean breakout, you don't need to chase news or tips. The box method helps you enter trades with confidence and exit with minimum pain. Let's unlock a lesson that saved Nicolas Darvas from total ruin and turned him into a disciplined, profitable trader. Never trade without a stop loss. Darvas's early trading days were full of chaos. Like many beginners, he once believed he could predict where a stock would go. He thought his instincts were enough. But time and again, the market proved him wrong. Stocks that looked strong would suddenly crash, wiping out weeks of profits in a single swing. He watched helplessly as hope turned into losses. He wrote in his book that these painful moments taught him his most sacred rule. Whenever I buy a stock, I immediately decide at what point I will sell it if it goes against me. No exceptions, no second guessing. This rule became the backbone of his famous box method too. Remember, Darvas divided a stock's price into boxes. Once he bought on a breakout above a box, he immediately placed a stop loss just below the bottom of that box. If the price dipped back inside and dropped below the lower line, he sold. Instantly. No regret. No waiting for a rebound. Why did he do this? Because Darvas understood a hard truth. The market has no mercy. It doesn't care how confident you feel or how good your last trade was. One bad move can drain your capital fast. A stop loss, on the other hand, is your emergency exit. It prevents a small mistake from becoming a financial disaster. Darvas never treated stop losses as negative. He saw them as life jackets in rough trading waters. He believed that taking a small loss was not a failure. It was a sign of a smart, disciplined trader. He used to say, "I would rather lose money than lose confidence." Because once you lose faith in your own rules, you spiral into reckless trades, revenge bets, and bigger losses. He also learned never to adjust a stop loss downward. Many traders move their stop lower, hoping the price will bounce back. Darvas warned against this temptation. For him, a stop loss was a promise to himself. If the market proves me wrong, I will get out and keep my capital safe. This strict practice did something magical. It gave him peace of mind. He didn't have to watch prices every second. He could dance on global stages, knowing his losses were capped. This freedom is what modern traders crave but often forget. So, what can we learn from this today? It's simple. Never enter a trade without a clear exit plan. Always decide up front how much loss you can bear, and stick to it, no matter what your emotions say. This single habit separates winners from dreamers. In Darvas's own journey, stop losses turned trading from risky gambling into a systematic game. And that's why even today, decades later, this lesson stands strong. Protect your capital first. Profits will follow. One of the most powerful secrets behind Nicolas Darvas's multi-million-dollar success, a principle that most traders ignore, but Darvas mastered. Never cut your winning trades too soon. In his early days, he made a classic mistake. Whenever a stock moved up and showed him a quick profit, he would feel overjoyed, but also scared. What if the profit disappeared? So he'd sell fast, pocketing tiny gains. He thought he was playing it safe. But over time, he realized something painful. These small wins could never cover his occasional losses. He was working hard but getting nowhere. This frustration forced him to study his trades deeply. What he found changed his entire game. The few trades that really took off and delivered big profits were always the ones he exited too soon. He called them his golden trades, rare moments when a strong stock exploded upward and made him rich. But fear cut them short. Darvas decided to flip this habit. Instead of cashing out quickly, he learned to trust the trend. He said, "My only sound policy is to let my profits run." And he meant it. Once he bought a stock, breaking out of his box, he didn't watch the small daily swings nervously. He focused only on whether the trend was healthy. If it was, he stayed put. How did he protect these profits? Simple. He trailed his stop loss. As the stock moved higher and formed a new box, he shifted his stop loss to the bottom of that new box. This locked in gains but left enough room for the price to breathe and climb more. This smart trailing stop kept him safe from sudden crashes, but didn't choke his profit potential. He explained in his book that this single rule, letting winners run, created the bulk of his fortune. Small losses were easy to cover because his big winners would sometimes return 10 times his risk. He called this a mathematical edge. Small losses, big wins, over and over. Darvas taught us another truth too. Emotions ruin big winners. Most traders get scared as soon as they see a good profit. They think, what if it reverses, and exit early? But Darvas trained himself to think differently. He asked, what if it keeps rising? Why should I stop it? His job was to ride the trend until the market clearly said, enough. This mindset gave him freedom. He could travel the world, dance on stages, and sleep peacefully, knowing that his trailing stops would protect his profits automatically. Don't kill your best trades just because you fear losing your paper profit. Let them grow like a tree. Use a trailing stop to guard your gains, but never stand in the way of momentum. Remember, one big winner can pay for dozens of tiny losers. Darvas turned this simple rule into millions, and so can we if we trust the trend and let our winners breathe. The silent power behind Nicolas Darvas's trading fortune was one habit that separated him from impulsive gamblers: unshakable discipline. In his early trading years, Darvas struggled just like most beginners do. He got tempted by hot stock tips, newspaper rumors, and flashy sure-shot calls. He would jump into trades without a plan, driven by excitement or the fear of missing out. And every time he did this, the result was the same. He lost money, felt regret, and blamed the market. But with every mistake, he sharpened his rules. He realized the real enemy wasn't the market. It was his own lack of discipline. So he created his golden rule: no trade unless my conditions are met. This rule sounds simple, but sticking to it was tough. He wrote in his book that the urge to chase random trades was one of the hardest habits to break. But Darvas forced himself to wait, watch, and trust his system. He called it trading like a robot, but with human judgment. His system worked like this. First, he let the stock price move naturally and form a clear box, a range with a top and a bottom. He never guessed the top. He let the market reveal it. Once the box was clear, he didn't rush. He waited patiently for the price to break above the top line with strong volume. Only then did he buy. If there was no breakout, he did nothing. Even if a stock looked hot or someone said buy now, he ignored it. If his condition didn't match, there was no trade. Period. This discipline kept him safe from overtrading, a trap that destroys most traders. It also protected him from useless market noise. His boxes filtered out fake signals and kept him focused on high-probability trades only. Many times, Darvas watched good opportunities pass by. But he didn't feel regret. He trusted that the market would always offer a better chance later, as long as he had capital to trade. He once wrote, "I can't control the market, but I can control myself." Another big part of his discipline was how he handled bad trades. If a stock broke out but then failed and fell below the box, he exited immediately. No arguments, no excuses. He never tried to fix a losing position or add more money. For him, discipline meant obeying his stop loss like a soldier follows orders. This strong discipline turned Darvas's method into a repeatable, reliable machine. It gave him freedom of mind. He didn't worry about every small move or breaking news. He trusted his boxes and his rules. So what does this teach us today? It's simple, but powerful. Build a clear system that suits your style, then follow it like a ritual. Don't break it when greed tempts you. Don't bend it when fear makes you panic. If there's no signal, just wait. Patience and discipline are your real profit makers. Nicolas Darvas proved that true success is not about chasing every move. It's about waiting for the right one and acting with calm discipline every single time. Is one of the most inspiring parts of Nicolas Darvas's journey. How he, a professional dancer with no internet or real-time charts, created a system so reliable that it made him millions while he was on tour across the globe. Darvas's story proves something powerful. You don't need to sit glued to a screen all day, nor do you need fancy technology or secret insider tips. What you truly need is a clear, logical system and the courage to trust it. In his book, Darvas described how his career as a dancer kept him traveling from city to city. He didn't have the luxury of watching price ticks or breaking news, so he had to design a method that worked for him, even in hotel rooms, airports, and dance halls. His system revolved around just two things: price and volume. He ignored complicated theories, ignored market gossip, and ignored what experts claimed to know. He observed price movements and the strength behind them. Slowly, he noticed a pattern. Stocks that broke out of clear ranges with strong volume usually continued in that direction for a while. This simple observation became his edge. To use this edge, he invented what we now call the Darvas Box Method. He defined clear boxes around a stock's price movement. If the price broke out of the box top with volume, he bought. If it dropped below the box bottom, he sold. He didn't overthink it. He didn't adjust the boxes based on fear or gut feelings. He trusted his logic. Because he was traveling, he couldn't place orders instantly. So he wrote instructions and sent buy or sell orders through telegrams to his broker. This forced him to stick to his system. There was no room for impulsive changes. He had no live charts to panic over. He had only his tested boxes and his unwavering discipline. Darvas's success teaches modern traders a timeless truth. Following someone else's signals will never make you rich in the long run. Tips may work once or twice, but without understanding the logic, you can't adapt when the market shifts. He always warned, build your own system, test it properly, and trust it fully. He spent years refining his method before it made him millions. He learned from mistakes, adjusted his boxes, and made the method stronger with real money and real experience. Today, with all our advanced tools and real-time data, most traders still jump from one guru to another, chasing the next big secret. Darvas showed us that real success comes from self-reliance. If he could make money while dancing in Cuba, New York, and Paris with nothing but telegrams in his boxes, we have no excuse. So, friends, the lesson is crystal clear. Don't chase magic signals. Learn, test, and build a system that makes sense to you. Once you have it, trust it with all your heart. That's how Darvas danced his way to financial freedom, and so can you. Darvas's story proves a simple truth. Winners never stop learning, and learners never stop winning. When Darvas started trading, he didn't pretend to be an expert. In fact, he openly admitted in his book that he made countless mistakes. He chased hot tips, fell for rumors, trusted brokers blindly, and jumped in and out of trades without a plan. Each failure stung, but instead of quitting or blaming others, he asked himself, what is this loss trying to teach me? This attitude turned every mistake into a stepping stone. For example, he once lost money repeatedly because he bought stocks that looked exciting but had no strong price and volume signals. He noted this down in his trading diary and promised himself never to buy on excitement alone again. Slowly, his system evolved. His losses also taught him that no system is perfect. The market always has surprises. So he trained his mind to see losses as the cost of learning, not as proof that he was wrong. He said, if I lose small. If I win big. And I always learn. This approach shaped the famous Darvas Box Method. Each failed trade showed him how to define his boxes better. If a breakout failed too easily, he adjusted his box width. If a stop loss got hit too soon, he learned to give the stock enough breathing room. Over time, this constant refining made his method more robust than any theory he had read in books. What's amazing is that Darvas never called himself a master trader. Even when he was making thousands of dollars while performing dance shows worldwide, he said he was still a student of the market. He believed that the market was the ultimate teacher, and the tuition fee was losses. For modern traders, this lesson is gold. Many people lose once or twice and give up in frustration. Or worse, they keep repeating the same bad habits, hoping for a different result. Darvas teaches us to do the opposite. Lose gracefully, study deeply, tweak your method, and come back stronger. He once wrote, "My greatest discovery was not a stock or a chart pattern, but that my mind must remain open to learn from the market." This openness kept him flexible. He didn't get stuck defending a bad idea. He accepted reality quickly, cut his losses, and adjusted. Treat every trade, win or lose, as a lesson. Keep a diary. Write down what worked and what failed. Review it. Improve step by step. Mistakes are not your enemy. Repeating them blindly is. Darvas danced through failures, learned from every misstep, and turned that knowledge into a fortune. If he could do it, so can you, as long as you stay in learning mode forever. Darvas's life is the perfect example that you don't need to sacrifice your entire day, your peace of mind, or your personal life to succeed in the stock market. He was not a typical full-time trader stuck behind a desk. He was a professional dancer, always on tour, performing in different cities and countries, often without access to real-time stock prices. In his book, Darvas admitted he didn't have the luxury of watching every price tick. He couldn't panic at every small dip or spike. Instead, he built a system that worked for him, the famous box method, and trusted it completely. Once he identified a breakout box with strong volume, he placed his orders. Then he simply moved on with his dance rehearsals, performances, and travel plans. He didn't babysit his trades. If the price moved as expected, he let the profits grow. If the price hit his stop loss, he accepted the small loss and moved on without a second thought. No drama, no endless watching, no sleepless nights. This mindset did two things for him. First, it freed up his mental energy. He could focus on his passion, dancing, without worrying about the market. Second, it kept him from making impulsive mistakes. Many traders overtrade or second-guess their plan when they watch the screen too much. Darvas couldn't do that even if he wanted to. He often said that too much screen time does not mean better decisions. It usually means more confusion. His secret was simple: trade smart, not long. So, what can modern traders learn from this? Technology today is far superior. We have real-time quotes, apps, alerts, and automated stop losses. If Darvas could manage millions with telegrams and letters, we surely can automate our plans with a click. The real lesson is to design a solid trading strategy, set clear entry and exit points, use stop losses to protect your capital, and let the plan do its work. Don't spend every waking hour glued to the screen. Let your strategy breathe. Trust your process. Darvas proved that life and trading can go hand in hand. You don't have to sacrifice your health, relationships, or hobbies to grow your wealth. In fact, stepping away from the screen often makes you a calmer and wiser trader. I hope you enjoyed exploring the brilliant mind of Nicolas Darvas and his simple yet powerful box trading strategy. If you found these lessons valuable and got even one new idea today, please give this video a big like, share it with your trading buddies, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you never miss real trading insights that actually work. Stay disciplined, stay curious, and as Darvas taught us, trade smart and live free. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Happy trading, everyone.